Let's turn our attention to Louisiana, and more specifically, the so-called Louisiana Leap in national education rankings. Louisiana is among a handful of southern states that have made the largest K-12 education gains in recent years, and there was some room for growth. Not that long ago, Louisiana was ranked near dead last among states overall. It's made some vast improvements. Joining us to talk about it is Nolan McKendry, the Center Square's state government reporter in Louisiana. Nolan, what's the latest, and how did we get there?
That's a good question. A lot of different things were done to really produce this result, and I'm sure it's very encouraging for the leaders in the state. Prior to COVID, as you mentioned, Louisiana had always struggled with education, often coming in at the 50 and in the 40s in the rankings for readings and math. And they were sick of it, and they knew that it was a problem. They knew that people were leaving the state because of it, and that parents wanted their kids to get better education. And one of I think what leaders would say has been the most important change has been this drive to really hone in on tutoring. The state has introduced a high dosage tutoring program that requires students struggling in reading and math to receive 30 minutes of tutoring every day. And that was, I think, instituted just 2 years ago. And already it appears to be paying off. So yesterday, the state did not release the actual rankings for the nation's report card. And just to back up a sec, the nation's report card is this study released every year by 3 of the Ivy League colleges, Dartmouth, Harvard, and I think Stanford. And they just go through the 4th grade and 8th grade reading and math rankings and how those students are scoring. And Louisiana is leading the way. They're first in reading growth, and they are second in math growth. And so in June, when they release the official report, we'll find out their exact rankings.
And so students who are frequently absent from school remain a problem there, right? And that's key for overall achievement. So what are they doing about that?
That's correct. The absenteeism is a big issue, and this truancy is defined as missing 10% of the school year, and it got worse over the last year by I think 4 percentage points, which is that's actually a lot. I don't know exactly how many students that would translate to, but 4 percentage points is nothing to sneeze at. In order to address it, Secretary Brumley said that they had been providing regional attendance support throughout the state with the collaboration of the justice system and the faith-based community. For instance, when at the press conference yesterday, I spoke to the Baton Rouge district attorney, and while he didn't say anything about what he and his office have done specifically to address truancy, he added that it was a very difficult thing to address because the laws, because they don't often prosecute the laws related to truancy. So the truancy laws aren't related to the student specifically; they're related to the parent. A parent can be fined, and I think at the very worst can receive some time in jail. But he said that they don't prosecute those. They almost never prosecute them, which means that it's up to the state really to really address that issue and not the justice system.
So they've found that putting kids as parents in jail is not a good way to keep kids at school.
Yes, which Hiller Moore said, of course. The district attorney said, of course. I mean, that would only make matters worse, which is exactly what he told me, and it makes sense. I mean, it's not the parent who's missing school. Why would that change whether or not the kid ends up in school that day? In fact, it's likely that it would only make it worse.
Yeah, so how do electronic devices fit into all this? I can speak from experience as a father of 3 kids. Video screens can hold their attentions far better than I can. Does the state limit cell phones at school?
They do, in fact. There was a statewide cell phone ban passed in 2024, and it's funny you bring up your kids. I mean, as somebody who was born in 1999, I have personal experience in understanding just how much of a drain being raised on a screen. At least that's how it feels. I mean, obviously, I don't have any real quantitative data to express that. This is only a subjective anecdote. But it certainly feels like typing and typing just doesn't have the same sort of cognitive fitness that writing does by hand. And so the state acknowledges that, and I think states across the country are acknowledging that, and you're seeing this this sort of revolt against the screen really in the past 5 or so years, I think.
Yeah. So what's the plan in Louisiana going forward, especially in regard to transitioning these students into jobs after they graduate?
That's right. So the state is expecting a great deal of economic development. They've made a concerted effort to bring more jobs to Louisiana, and they, as I've reported previously, they don't want these jobs, of course, to go to Texans and people in other states. They want these to go to Louisianans. And so these, Louisianans must be prepared, because, eventually these kids will be the ones who do or do not get those jobs. And so you've got to educate them better. And so one lawmaker I spoke with yesterday is backing a piece of legislation currently sitting in the Senate. I believe it might be the House, forgive me, that would sort of offer a career path for students, and it would use career coaches and external vendors to help middle school and high school students develop graduation plans, to find out what their interests are and what their strengths are, and really set them on a more firm and progressive path.
All right, Nolan, we'll keep an eye on how education's being reshaped in the southern states and how those initiatives might be applied elsewhere. Thanks for your time today.